Order. Question number 8, Louise Upston.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Economic Development and asks, what reports has he received on how the regions contributed to New Zealand's economic recovery?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, yes, I've received a variety of reports that indicate the regions have led New Zealand's recovery out of the global financial crisis. The recent regional GDP data released by Statistics New Zealand shows that regions like Bay of Plenty, Gisborne, Hawke's Bay, Nelson Tasman, Canterbury, Otago and Southland all experienced growth above the national average for the 5-year period from 2008 to 2013. I've also received the recent ANZ Regional Trends report, which notes that 11 regions reported growth in the first quarter of 2014. The Nelson Marlborough economy has risen for 12 consecutive quarters. Bay of Plenty economy has risen for 9 quarters in a row, while ANZ estimates that Northern grew at 7.4% in the last year.
Supplementary question. Supplementary question, Louise Upston.
Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Order. Louise Upston.
Supplementary to the Minister. What policies has the government put in place to strengthen the regions?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, for New Zealand to build a more productive and competitive economy, we need all of our regions to achieve their potential. That's precisely what the government's business growth agenda is all about. So here's a list of just a few of the things that we're doing to help grow jobs and investment in regions around New Zealand, all of which sit alongside the 84,000 in the last 12 months, all of which sit alongside the big investment in regional roads announced by the Prime Minister at the weekend. These include our rural broadband project and ultra-fast broadband, primary growth partnerships, Callaghan Innovations R&D funding, NZTE's Regional Business Partner Program, Youth Guarantee and apprenticeships around New Zealand.
Order. I have a point of order from the Honourable David Parker.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I had the Parliamentary Library calculate the average length of answer from Mr Joyce because our repeated points of order as to his breaching standing orders, it's 111 words per primary answer, Mr Speaker, which is unheard of, and I seek leave to table that document.
Order. I just remind members it was a point of order. I was trying to listen to it. There was a lot of interjection coming from my right, which is unacceptable. I presume the Minister's now completed his answer?
Mr Speaker, I sought leave to table that document.
Order. No, on occasion, if the member has something relevant to ask, I will allow it. But on this occasion, I think we'll put the leave and then we'll move. Leave is sought to table this particular Parliamentary Library document. Is there any objection to it being tabled? There is none. I look forward to seeing it. Supplementary question, Louise Upston.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Supplementary to the Minister. What policies would, in his view, hold the regions from growing strongly and delivering more jobs and more growth?
Well,
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Well, Mr Speaker, I've seen a number of policies advocated that would hold the regions back. For example, a carbon price that is 5 times the world price would hold New Zealand's regions back. A capital gains tax on every productive business and farm in the country, while exempting 2/3 of residential property, would harm regional New Zealand. Stopping people using wind-blown timber on the west coast, that would hold that region back. Rolling back reforms to the RMA would hold all our regions back. And policies, Mr Speaker, that are anti-trade, anti-investment, anti-oil and gas, anti-dairy and anti-anything that develops our national resources would hold our regions back, and those are the policies of the opposition.
Order. I think we've all got the picture.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question, Louise Upston.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. What recent innovative ideas for regional development has he seen that merit closer attention?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Well, Mr Speaker, I've seen one as late as this morning which I could only describe as genius. Mr Speaker, a gentleman has proposed the resuscitation of our extinct flightless bird known as the moa. I think this is a serious proposal, Mr Speaker, that requires some examination. And it shows the value of having somebody with this gentleman's long experience around in the policy development process. He is probably the only member who can personally recall how successful moas were for tourism.
Order. Supplementary question, Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, does the Minister feel he's got expertise in this area, having a degree in zoology?
I'll listen very briefly to the answer. Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I think I do possibly have some experience in this area, Mr. Speaker, but then I think so does the person who came up with the idea. Of course, with the name Mallard, he would know a lot about birds of different feathers.
Order. Order. Question number 9, Phil Twyford.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is for the Minister of Housing. Does he stand by his statement that the rate of new